Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday, and we're diving back into some Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney. And before we get started, I would like to state that I have adjusted the bitrate just the last time that I was streaming, so the bitrate is much higher than it was. But the side effect to that is there might be some weird stream glitches. I'm not entirely sure. The testing that I did the last time seemed like everything was okay. But even then, like tonight, I'm noticing there's some interesting little dips and things that normally would not happen. So if anything weird happens, then by all means, please let me know, and I will make adjustments. I could always just drop it back down to a lower bit rate in the event I needed to. But anyways, so tonight we are going to be playing more Ace Attorney. Now, what happened last time? We have discovered that apparently there's a Kira that is located in the bell tower, and for God's sakes, we need to make sure that they do not ring the bell, or anybody to ring the bell in that case. Just because the apocalypse in the end of times is probably going to happen if that happens. And also, we have discovered that the storyteller indeed has absolutely no idea who is currently on trial, which is his own daughter. Somebody else wrote that one in. So, without further ado, let's dive right into the game. Let's take a look.
Court is now once again in session. However, I must say, I am quite surprised at this recent turn of events. To see Miss Kira at the witness stand once again, frankly, I cannot believe my eyes.
Yeah, she was a little bit burned to a crisp. Well, I suppose nobody was burned to a crisp, according to what the story says, but... nice skirting from the, Okay, so who is Kira? Well, I literally just explained it. But yeah, she was somebody who was sentenced as being a witch and then sent into the, flames of fire. We've already learned that those flames actually don't kill people, and it just leads them outside of town. So it's not odd that Kira is back, but it is kind of odd that we have somehow stumbled onto Kira here of all places. Up in the bell tower. Weird.
You were most certainly sent to the flames as a witch.
That's right. I was there. I saw it. She most certainly was.
Then how is she still alive?
Is it because she's a witch? Can witches not die?
No, she must have used Demir and vanished just in time.
I say, send her straight to the fire. We'll do it ourselves if we have to. Hi, lady.
Enough. A witch must be in possession of a Talia Magica in order to use magic. I hate to disappoint you all, but do you see such a thing on her person? I think not.
Well, if this individual happened to be a great witch...
But she must have... That girl must have used Demir. Surely you can see that, High Inquisitor.
Demir is a spell able to make someone disappear from sight. It cannot make one vanish entirely. And besides, an investigation conducted by the Knights of the Inquisition has concluded that this girl is not capable of using magic.
How? Why?
Listen well, Miss Kira.
How can she not use magic? She was shown as being a witch at the previous trial.
Your existence alone jeopardizes the very peace of Labyrinthia. Yet, given the current situation, it is now imperative that you testify to this court regarding what you saw. Immediately!
I mean, she hasn't said a word up until this point, but okay. That will not be necessary. Okay, good. She can still stay silent.
What?
This girl has already been convicted and tried as a witch in a previous trial. What good could come of her testimony?
Objection!
My case, sir. But she was found hiding at this crime scene. I'd say that makes her a very important witness. A witness whose testimony we cannot choose to ignore.
High Inquisitor Darklaw, I'm afraid your objection is overruled.
Phooey. You wish to proceed then? Very well. Let us see just how much of her story this girl is willing to tell the court, shall we?
Again, she doesn't seem to want to say anything. There's no doubt about it. Miss Kira must have escaped through the passage leading under the Chamber of Fire. Although, From the looks of it, the judge doesn't have a clue that escape route even exists.
I wish he'd hurry up and get the hint. I'm dying to take this helmet off already.
The top of my head really itches. Sorry, Maya. Take that thing off now and we're good as done. Just hang in there a little while longer.
Very well, witness, you may begin your testimony. Explain to the court how you are standing here in court today, and why you were hiding at the crime scene.
She's mute. Unless she starts talking now, which would be very convenient. Oh.
I am not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. I came from the Eldritch Woods. I came to this town to summon forth the fire dragon and kill the storyteller. As it rained, I waited near the bell tower, next to the vigilantes, for my chance. I was only there to carry out my orders. I don't know anything else outside of that.
So brainwashing, eh? Hi, Timp. How's it going?
You came here to kill the storyteller?
That sounds like a confession.
Yes, that was my task.
Objection!
Bam.
Keep in mind, this girl was not the one who summoned the fire dragon in the end.
How do you know?
That was the accused. As I warned you earlier, there is nothing to be gained from this witch's testimony.
Objection!
Now hold on. She was still present at the scene of the crime with the intent to murder... Wait, with the intent to murder the storyteller. Is that enough to burn her? How was my day? It's been going pretty well. Little bit, actually, not really busy at all. I've just been noodling around with some stuff. The defense insists we be permitted to continue with our cross-examination on those grounds. Darklaw is really trying to weasel her way out of this cross-examination. That means there has to be something there. Yeah, Missy. What reasons do you have?
I must admit, I too am extremely interested in hearing what this witness has to say. Defender, you may begin your interrogation.
Here we go. Oh, I only have 3 shields. How lovely. Thanks, previous me. Okay, we have saved. Not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. I came from the Eldritch Woods. Thank God I'm only working with one person today. Or at least right now. You say you're not familiar with the name Kira?
Yes, I've never heard it before.
But, I say, that is your name, young lady. Honestly, what witchery is this?
I have no name. I am simply a resident of the Eldritch Woods, nothing more.
Eldritch Woods? The very same woods said to house the souls of the witches sent to the flames? Are you telling me they really exist?
No matter how you look at it, the Kira up on that witness stand doesn't look like, much like this. Wait. Doesn't look like much of a soul to me.
The girl has lost all memory of even being a flower seller. That is all.
If that's the case, then I wonder if she even remembers our run-in back at the marketplace. Say, Miss Kira, do you happen to remember me at all? Please say you do.
No, I do not know you. I first saw you just now at the bell tower.
You lying she-witch!
I came to this town to summon forth the fire dragon and kill the storyteller.
Hold it!
Did you just say fire dragon?
Yes, it was all part of my orders. I was told to come here this evening and wait for the right moment when the storyteller would appear before the people. Only then was I supposed to shout out the incantation as loudly as possible.
Oh, great beast from the inferno, heed my call. Grand word. Don't say it now. Okay, so she can't call incantations now.
I believe this bears repeating. The girl does not possess a scepter. It is impossible for her to summon any sort of magical dragon.
Oh, yeah, that's quite right, High Inquisitor.
Judge, Then why are you hiding underneath the bench, Your Honor?
Yes, well, it is as I thought then. She could not have cast the spell.
I believe I have made it perfectly clear. This girl is not the Great Witch Bazella. Naturally, the Great Witch is that girl there, Aspella Cantabella. There can be no other.
I certainly hope some portion of this story turns out like it doesn't matter who the Great Witch is. It just turns out there's one particular way to solve all this for good. I'm starting to think that might be the case, considering it's so freaking difficult to manage and get together some way of getting Aspella Cantabella off the hook. I don't know.
As it rained, I waited near the bell tower next to the vigilantes for my chance.
Hold it!
Okay. Hold it right there, Miss Kara. You snuck right past the vigilantes.
Yes, that's right. My orders at the time were to...
The girl's a witch.
Therefore, something as simple as vanishing from sight is child's play. Isn't that right, witness? Yes, that is correct.
Aha! I remember now. Just a few days ago, this girl used that very vanishing spell, Demir, if memory serves.
Well, what are you gawking at, witness? Continue with your testimony.
What was that just now? I could have sworn I just saw Kira's face turn even paler than normal. Such a sickly flower girl.
I was only there to carry out my orders. I don't know anything else outside of that.
Hold it!
Miss Kara, who exactly gave you your orders?
There. I cannot say.
And why is that?
I am not to disclose the identity of the one who has given me my orders. That in itself is an order.
How convenient.
I'm only supposed to carry out my orders, nothing more. I do not know anything else, and besides, there's nothing more than I can really do.
Nothing more she can do.
But hold on just a minute. Surely you are capable of using magic. You are a witch, are you not?
I am not a witch.
What did you just say?
Then why have so many witches been kicked to the curb out in the forest?
I cannot use magic.
She can't use magic. So was this all some gigantic, pretty spectacle? And how can we prove that?
This girl is a witch. Every person in this courtroom knows that as a matter of fact. There can be nary a doubt.
Meow. Doesn't look like there's much to work with. Even though she's just finished explaining everything, I still don't fully understand. Oh, man, Nick. You don't think this Kyria is actually some sort of crazy magical zombie, do you? Maya, you went through the same thing as Kira. Did you become a magical zombie? Oh, yeah. I guess not, huh? Luke and I couldn't believe it was Kira when we ran into her in the marketplace. I mean, we thought for sure she was a goner back then at the trial. I don't think I'm far off, though. This Kira is way different than the old Kira. It looks like she doesn't remember a thing. She's almost like another person entirely. But what if that's just it, Maya? What if the Kira right here, right now, is the real Kira, and the old Kira wasn't? The real Kira, huh? Yeah, and that's why. I think I'm bound to find something useful in her testimony. We can do this, Nick! I hope you're ready to slam on some desks, because we're gonna do some serious pressing here. The old Kira, eh? The old Kira? Okay. I am not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. Came from the Eldritch Woods. Well, I don't know if anything is unlocked. Probably not, but just in case. I'll save. Now, what the heck kind of evidence could I possibly show talking about the fact that this is a different... Well, there's the flower-covered robes. Found at the crime scene in the bell tower. Flower has stuck to the... So maybe this has something to do with it? Like, where did this robe come out of nowhere? Perhaps. Let me think. Don't think the contract. So it looks like the entire thing we're trying to do is we're trying to prove that this individual might be the real Kira, and that somehow the Kira that was the witch was some kind of strange incantation or a change of her. So what can we do with the testimony? Not familiar with this Kira you keep talking about. Came to this town to summon forth the fire dragon and kill the storyteller. As it rained, I waited near the bell tower near the vigil. Okay, for my chance. I was only there to carry out my orders. I don't know anything else outside of that. And that's it. Alright. Luke and I couldn't believe it was Kira when we ran to her in the marketplace. Not a fireplace. Well, out of an entire stint of laziness, I'm going to go ahead and use a hint coin. Because, holy shit, look how many I have. Okay, funny enough, this is not the statement that we're trying to push. Here we go. We're supposed to be pressing this. I wonder if, yeah, maybe something did unlock after we listened to the rest of the testimony. That tends to frickin' happen. I don't know. I'm not a gigantic fan of that, especially when there's not clear indicators of when things were unlocked. So here. Have we had any weird performance issues with the stream so far? I don't think so. It looks like everything's kind of evened out for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, we're supposed to press this.
Hold it!
Hold it right there, Miss Kara. You snuck right past the vigilantes. No? Awesome. That's right, my orders at the time were to... The girl's a witch. Eh? Therefore, something as simple as vanishing from sight is child's play. That's correct.
I remember now, a few days ago, the girl.
Vanishing spell. Are you gawking at witness? Continue with your testimony. What was that just now? Saw Kira's face turn even paler than normal. Wait a second. There's something not right about this testimony. It's just a hunch, but what should I do? Oh god, I love how the hint coin doesn't allow you to skip. Oh, I would have pressed further either way, so yeah. Miss Kira, I have one simple question for you. You stated earlier in your testimony that you snuck past the vigilante guarding the bell tower and went right inside. Tell me, did you use the spell Demir to get by them?
That must certainly be the case. Had she not, she would surely have been spotted.
Objection!
But, remember what she let slip just a few moments or two ago? Or a moment or two ago? She denied being a witch, and stated she cannot use magic. Oh, that's the rub. Okay. Therefore, if that's true, then you, Miss Kira, would not have been able to use Demir at all.
Objection!
What a ridiculous argument. No, it's not. She has magic or she doesn't have magic. If she does have magic, she can sneak past it. But if you're saying that she's not a witch, I don't even know. How else would this girl have been able to walk right into the bell tower unnoticed by the guards? Explain that.
Objection!
I have a better idea. How about we have the witness herself explain it to you? What do you say, Miss Kira? Meh. I am not a witch. Try and explain it, man. And I cannot use magic.
So, then, exactly how were you able to ascend the bell tower without being noticed? Witness, amend your testimony this instant.
Okay. What's going on? There's gotta be another way she got into the bell tower unseen. But other than magic, I have no idea what that could be. Well, let's see. What does this unlock? I was wearing the robe of invisibility, so no one was able to see me there. Robe of invisibility, eh? I think I have an idea of what the hell I'm supposed to be doing, but...
Hold it!
Wait just a second! Did you just say robe of invisibility? Yes, that is correct.
A robe of invisibility? Surely you don't mean a robe that can make one vanish from sight when worn?
An invisibility cloak.
Yes, that is correct.
What?
Interesting. Is it currently covered in flour? Miss Kira, do you have that robe on you right now? I don't have it. Cha-ching. Huh?
That is, I dropped it back at the bell tower.
Oh, hey, you do have a few flowers. Nice. What the heck was that? Why was Kira looking over at Darklaw when she spoke just now?
Are you listening to this farce, my lord? Surely you do not give any credence to this witness' testimony. Especially to this preposterous notion of a robe of invisibility.
Indeed. I must say, witness, that is quite an unbelievable story.
Objection!
I don't think it's that crazy, Your Honor.
What?
If something like magic can exist, the chances of a robe of invisibility being real are pretty high, wouldn't you say?
Objection!
Ah, yes, the Harry Potter world logic. Just like, magic exists, so therefore, yes.
If such is the case, then how about you put your evidence where your mouth is? Prove that this robe of invisibility exists.
Oh, why are we using logic now? Is that a standard in this world now? Oh, that's real nice. Can we also get some actual, evidence and some logic involved with forensics? Prove it.
What say you, defender? Can you prove to the court that the robe of invisibility does, in fact, exist?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. The defense believes it has evidence to prove the robe's existence.
Why am I not surprised? A ridiculous defender only begets ridiculous arguments.
I've got to admit, an invisible robe does sound pretty far-fetched, even for Labyrinthia. But if there's even the slightest possibility this evidence is right, then I've got to try it.
Very well, defender. Please show the court this evidence. Show us the piece of evidence that proves the existence of this robe.
How about the robe right here?
Take that!
This is oddly too obvious. What the heck's happening? There was, in fact, a robe dropped and left at the crime scene tonight.
A robe?
Miss Kira, that robe of invisibility that you mentioned earlier wouldn't happen to be this one right here, would it?
Objection!
I can see that robe. I swear that's going to be the defense. You are to tell the court that is the robe of invisibility? If it's really a robe of invisibility, then how is it? Oh, fucking shit. Again, maybe it works like an invisibility cloak, eh? Put it on. Well, she kind of got a point there. Oh, hey. What if the robe actually disappears when... Yeah, okay, good. Maya's working. Give it her, Nick! Watch and wonders as Maya the Magnificent disappears before your very eyes! Either that or you're just gonna look like you're covered in flour and ridiculous. So, are you amazed yet?
No.
Yeah, I'm amazed at how totally ridiculous you look in that. Hey, what gives? This thing must be busted or something. I didn't disappear at all. Well, that's not it. No. What? Who? Oh.
Tonight at the bell tower, I was wearing that robe.
What did you say?
Okay, so how do you make the magic work? Someone poke it. Does it run on batteries?
Order, I say order. But how is that possible? The robe did not disappear at all just now.
That's because of the white powder on it. It's usually not that dirty.
Oh, you mean these spots here? Please don't tell me. Oh, yeah. Patty totally unloaded an entire bag of flour onto those knights, remember? How convenient. And also, wouldn't it just mean the flour would be floating in the air, not necessarily the coat? Not to mention it was still raining when we went up there. The flour must have gotten nice and wet, so it stained the robe. Say, what if... That's what I was about to think. Just like, does somebody have a washboard? You try washing the flour off.
Ah. There's a small water fountain at the edge of the square. Head right there. Okay, head there right now and wash the robe so that we can get to the bottom of this quickly. Now!
Who wants to bet that the powers of this robe turn out to be completely broken? Like, you can't wash it, you cannot cover it in flour, and it must, like, just stay smelly. Alright, this shouldn't be too hard. Take notes, Nick. This is how you do the laundry. See, all you have to do is throw the robe into the water, like so. Just chuck it in. And poison the water table. Wait, what? So, do you see anything, Maya?
That's just it! I don't see a thing! It's disappeared! What?
Oh boy. I frantically took a close look in the water in the fountain, but the robe had actually vanished without a trace, right there inside the fountain. You probably should have kept a hold of it to make sure it wouldn't just disappear on you.
Defender? What is the meaning of this? How come you have lost such a vital piece of evidence?
It's soluble! How was I supposed to guess that? Your Honor, it wasn't on purpose. Trust me. I wish I knew how it happened. I can't believe it. The robe actually disappeared from... Dude! Reach your hand in and try to grab it, you asshole! I don't quite know what you're talking about. I could still see the robe just fine. Huh? Look, it's right here, see? No, Miss Kira, I really don't see it. Because there's nothing to see. So, is that how it works? Putting the robe on makes you disappear completely from sight? But from the looks of it, only Kira is able to actually see the robe itself? It is not just me. It's all inhabitants of Eldritch Woods. All of us can see the robe. The Eldritch Woods. Our village lies deep within the recesses of the forest, in a world much different from this one. That's where I live. As long as we obey the law of the land, we are allowed to live there. I knew it. There's definitely something different about Kira compared to the rest of the townspeople here.
For the time being, seeing as only the witness can see the robe, we will cover it in flour again for the sake of visibility.
Bullshit? Dude, like, tell somebody to wear it. Prove our point, son of a bitch. But there's still one tiny thing bothering me. Miss Kira, your robe was found on the middle floor of the bell tower. Same floor where we found my client. However, you were hiding on the upmost level of the bell tower. What of it? You testified a little while ago that you dropped your robe, but I have to wonder, what exactly were you doing there on that top floor? Again, my theory is that she was about to ring the goddamn bell.
It would seem there is still much we need to ask this witness. What say you, High Inquisitor Darklaw?
'Tis the Inquisition's duty to follow my lord's decision on such matters. I have no objections.
Well, thank freaking God.
Very well, witness, you are hereby ordered to continue with your testimony. Tell us what happened between your sneaking up to the top floor of the bell tower and tonight's most terrible crime.
Yes, okay.
How is this gonna work out?
I was waiting on the middle floor of the tower. I started to turn around, but I was too late. They attacked me from behind. There was nothing I could do. My arm was restrained, and the attacker covered my mouth. As I struggled to get away, I think I managed to pull something off my attacker. That's when I lost consciousness. I woke up to find myself next to the bell on the top floor of the tower.
Is this another person that was framed? What the fuck?
Witness, are you saying someone attacked you while you were in the bell tower?
Yes, that is correct.
But who?
I don't know. They attacked me from behind, so I couldn't see who it was.
So you were unconscious the entire time after that?
That's why I was unable to complete my mission. But even if I hadn't been unconscious, I couldn't have done anything. I couldn't have done anything trapped high up in the belfry like that.
I wonder if that weird contraption we found was there. We found there was used to move Kira up to the belfry. Derpty herps. At least, I can't see any other way she could have got up there.
You heard the witness. She was locked up in the belfry of the tower. In other words, she couldn't have had anything to do with tonight's events. Therefore, there's no need for this utterly useless interrogation.
Not so fast. The witness also testified that someone attacked her tonight.
Defender, are you implying that this attacker could have been Brazilla?
I cannot say for certain, Your Honor. Regardless, the defense requests we be allowed to cross-examine the witness.
Request granted. Now then, Defender, you may begin your interrogation.
And here's where the fun begins. Let's see if we can coax this mysterious second witch out of hiding. Dude, fuck. So we have a witch, not witch, and an actual witch that is covering for another witch. Possibly. Okay. Another save. And let's see what the heck happens.
Hold it!
So you weren't able to catch even a glimpse of your attacker, is that right, Miss Kira?
Yes, that's right. Not even a teeny bit. They attacked me from behind after all.
Did I just hear correctly? It sounds like she hesitated in answering. By the way, may I ask why you turned around, Miss Kira?
What? What do you mean?
Well, it's just that you said you suddenly tried to turn around. Something must have really grabbed your attention to make you try to turn around so suddenly.
I don't remember.
Convenient!
I do think I heard a sound come from behind me.
You're saying that you heard something, and that's what made you turn around? Oh god, please tell me it was a magical incantation.
Yes, but I don't have any recollection of what exactly that was.
Damn it.
They attacked me from behind. There was nothing I could do. My arm was restrained, and the attacker covered my mouth.
Hold it!
Was the person male or female, or are you not sure?
I don't remember much. But I do know the person easily overpowered me. I remember they grabbed my left wrist. I tried to scream, but they quickly covered my mouth before I had a chance. I desperately tried to break their hold, but it was no good.
It sounds like the attacker managed to restrict her movements from behind.
As I struggled to get away, I think I managed to pull something off my...
Oh my god, please tell me what it is. What exactly did you pull off? This strange knick-knack, and it's just like a keychain.
I was still really dazed at the time, so I can't remember it very well, but... when I flung my hand up, I felt myself grab a small, round object. I must have pulled it off without thinking. I felt whatever it was snap right off.
So, from what you're saying, it sounds like this could have been something that was on your attacker's person.
I think so. I can still feel it, even now. It felt like I just snapped a piece of rope or something. I really wonder what that could have been. I think I would recognize the shape if I saw it.
She'd recognize the shape if she saw it. If only we had something that could trigger her memory. Then all we'd have to do is present it, and we'd be in business. Shut up, Maya. You don't need to be condescending to me. Yeah, tell me about it. You know, that might not be such a bad idea, Maya. The huge question being, why the hell was there a bunch of red stuff on it? Oh, wait a minute. Something just popped into my head about that one. Okay, we'll get to that.
That's when I lost consciousness. I woke up to find myself next to the bell on the top floor of the tower.
Hold it!
You say you lost consciousness.
Yes. In fact, it actually felt a lot like magic. It was the first time I had ever experienced a magic spell quite like that. As I thought there was magic at play here, must I remind you, the Great Witch Bazella can use any and all magic with the snap of her fingers.
Indeed. Such a spell does in fact exist. It was, oh, blast it. What was it called again?
Don't sweat it, Your Honor. Just leave it to me and trust the old Grand Grimoire. Goody-goody gumdrops. So that's another layer of nonsense that's going to be on top of these trials. A sleeping spell. I wonder, could Kira's attacker have actually been a witch? It really doesn't look like magic was used to knock her out, huh? Anyway, it looks like Kira is telling the truth. Still, she's definitely avoiding making eye contact. Not to mention she seems extremely hesitant. Hello, Elsie. How's it going? What's up, you gamer? There's no doubt about it. She's trying to keep something big from getting out. In that case, Nick, let's give it all we got and get to the bottom of this. Yeah, really feels like there's a lot riding on this one, Maya. Well, a lot in a storybook, which, you know, that's got a particular layer that you cannot go above. Fiction and all that. All right, so you said, I think I managed to pull something off my attacker. Oh, really? Did it happen to be this shiny little trinket here?
Objection!
Yeah, apparently it was. The level you're working on is 1 gig and 80% of the file is my lines, really. Holy mother of crap. Oh, hello, literal octopus. You never watched this game at all, so you're completely clueless as to what's happening right now. That's about right. Just, you kind of have to be there at the beginning of Phoenix Wright or anything related to Ace Attorney in order to make it work. Otherwise, it's a very gigantic ball of confusion. I try to, like, start these things with a little, like, the last time that we played this game, but you can only get so far with that. Anyway. So, Ms. Kira, you stated that you felt yourself snap something off your attacker. Would that thing, by any chance, be this right here?
Oh, that's it! I recognize that shape! That was the object I grabbed.
What did you say? But that's the accused's pendant, is it not?
Not quite, Your Honor. There are actually 2 pendants like this. The one you see here is the counterpart to Miss Cantabella's pendant. We still haven't figured out who it is that owns this damn thing.
Now that you mention it, I remember. The necklace was actually very taut. It really didn't rip right off so easily. So, I struggled against it, tugging and pulling at it for a bit, and I must have scratched their neck in the process. Either that or that's something else. Wait a sec. You mean you scratched your attacker's neck? I think so, but I don't know for sure. Nick! In that case, that means the dark stuff on the necklace could be... Yeah, it could be the attacker's blood. I don't think so. As the court can clearly see, there are still traces of blood left on this necklace itself. However, take one good look at my client and you'll notice there are no visible scars or cuts of any kind around her neck. Ergo, there is no way Miss Cantabella could be Miss Kira's attacker.
Objection!
Oh, dang! Yes.
Nice try, Defender, but I must stop you right there.
Nah.
Have you already forgotten what I told you? The Great Witch can use any spell in existence. She could have easily healed any such wound in the blink of an eye.
Bullshit. Show it in the grimoire, goddammit. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I already miss Inquisitor Barnum. Man, we really can't catch a break on this one, huh, Nick? Nope.
Let us resume the interrogation. Witness, Continue with your testimony.
At least we got somewhere. Struggled to get away. Think you managed to pull something off the attacker. Lost consciousness. Woke up. Find yourself next to the bell tower, top of the floor. Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything brand new, but I will save. Alright, where are we going from here, I wonder? It's not too ridiculously obvious this time. And again, I'm feeling particularly lazy, so I'm going to use a hit coin. So let's see. Oh, we have to present something on this. They attacked me from behind. There was nothing I could do. My arm was restrained, and the attacker covered my mouth. Okay. So, what are they going for here? Using magic to kill the town's creator. Vigilante report. The bell tower was constantly guarded. I feel like it's the pendant again. Kara ripped it off her assailant's neck, injuring them. Bloodstains can be seen on it. I feel like the bloodstain is now some kind of a catalyst to prove something here. I don't know for sure, but goddamn hit coins are something legendary.
Objection!
Yep. Okay. Miss Kara, there's something a little strange about your testimony just now, wouldn't you say? You stated that you were attacked from behind, and that the attacker grabbed you by the wrist, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Assuming that was in fact the case, then I'd say no matter how much you struggled, there's no way you would have been able to yank off this pendant, don't you think? How's the chat section today? Good question. How's everybody doing? The strap on this pendant is too short. There's no way you could have reached behind you and managed to pull it off.
That is a good point.
Miss Kira, the only way you would have been able to yank this pendant off of your attacker is if they were standing directly in front of you. Oh, neat. So you know who it is, you bastard. You didn't do much of anything else aside from play Splatoon 2 and be on Discord. Eventful day. Oh god, that just reminds me I'm so freaking psyched for Smash Brothers. I have pre-ordered, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait!
Order, I say! Witness, is this true?
Objection!
The witness was the victim of a physical attack. It's only natural that she'd be a bit confused on some of the details.
Objection!
Hi, Inquisitor! I wouldn't exactly call mistaking the location of your attacker being a bit confused. I'd call it more of a barefaced lie.
Well, now, Defender, I see you are as pathetically short-sighted as ever. Your argument is only valid assuming that this girl here actually saw her attacker. If she was not able to see this person, well, I'd say it'd make no difference where they were standing.
Then that means the attacker was also wearing one of these robes?
That is impossible, my lord. As the witness already has stated earlier, only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see these robes. In short, the attacker must have been a witch and must have disappeared from sight with the use of magic.
You must mean the Great Witch Brazella.
There's one more thing proving the attacker to be a witch.
And just what might that be?
The witness has stated that she lost consciousness. If you take a look in the Grand Grimoire, you will notice a spell called Feign-Fall. Witness, allow me to ask you, did you hear the incantation of this spell?
Please say no.
Now that you mention it,
Ah.
I do remember hearing something like that.
Say what? Again, this is just a good big old game of whose witch is it anyway.
Ah, here it is. Feign-Fall causes those who hear the incantation to lose all consciousness.
We must not forget, the Great Witch can use any and all magic at will.
Feign-Fall. God, can I have somebody whisper that into my ear just so I could sleep better at night?
Witness, amend your testimony to reflect this important piece of information.
Yes, right away.
Oh, good for you. Ah, boy. I can't believe she managed to get out of that one. But still, I'm not about to give up just yet. I'll keep on going until we finally get to the bottom of who this attacker really is.
Now then, let us continue with the interrogation.
Back to the grind. Heard the incantation for Fainfall, and before I could even turn around... Okay. Let's push this. See what happens. You heard the incantation. Are you absolutely sure about that?
Yes. There is no mistaking it. The attacker used magic to vanish from sight, went up the stairs, and then rendered the witness unconscious, also with magic. Clearly this must be the work of none other than the Great Witch Bazella.
It is no mere coincidence that the attacker was able to use such spells. This is certainly no ordinary witch.
Afterwards, the witness attacker carried her off. Naturally, that would require the use of both hands, one would think.
Both hands. High Inquisitor?
In other words, the witch would not have been able to hold a Talia Magica.
You could put a Talia Magica down, you fuck. I mean, alright, I don't know. In combination of a couple of things, I suppose if you need to work really, really fast, sure. I feel like we could make the argument that you could put it down at any point, but alright. Right, and the only witch that doesn't need a scepter like this is Bazella.
I see you have somehow managed to get that through your thick skull, Defender. Very well. Continue, witness. Yes.
So this isn't a new thing, right? Arms. Yeah, this isn't a new thing. So this is clearly what I need to do. Heard the incantation for Fainfall, and before I could even turn around. Okay. Well, that doesn't make a fuckload of sense, considering Fainfall makes you pass out immediately, right? Yeah, let me look at the Grand Grimoire. Instant sleep spell. Causes those who hear the incantation to lose all consciousness. Its effect takes hold the second the incantation is heard. So, technically speaking, this would mean that if you heard the incantation for Fainfall, suddenly attacked, there was nothing I could do, arms restrained, attacker covered my mouth. You know, Jesus, all of this is complete shite. I'm just wondering, like, what I'm supposed to be presenting this on. I'm gonna save real quick, just for safety's sake. But I feel like a good sticking point is what would be a good thing to present this on. Literal Octopus is asking if Fallout 76 is good. You haven't seen much about it other than the fact that your brother played the beta. I have heard some mixed bag stuff about it. I haven't personally played it. There are some people that like it, but they're getting a little bit fed up of just how glitchy it was, especially since they had a beta to iron out everything, and they didn't iron out everything. Of course, again, you're going to have to take my criticism of it with a grain of salt, since I haven't played it. Mostly because I'm not a giant fan of the Bethesda games. I don't know. It's just like the inventory systems and the way that they work. It's like, I've always felt like it was kind of a drag to play Bethesda stuff. But yeah, that's just me. Anyway. Suddenly attacked, there was nothing you could do. Arms were restrained, covered in mouth. As struggled to get away, something off the attacker. That's when you lost consciousness. I woke up to find myself next to the bell on okay. That's when you lost consciousness. That's when you lost consciousness. I freaking disagree.
Objection!
Yes. Miss Kira, I have watched you at the witness stand this entire trial. Desperately trying to keep something hidden from the rest of the court. I wonder if you're familiar with the saying, a lie begets more lies. It means multiple lies are bound to unravel and leave your story with more holes than Swiss cheese. Get to the point, Defender. According to the Grand Grimoire, Fainfall causes a person to lose all consciousness. It's written here in black and white. Its effect takes hold the second the incantation is heard. Miss Kira, you testified as follows. You heard the incantation for Faintfall and immediately became aware of the presence of your attacker. You then put up a fight. But if you really did hear that incantation, there's no way you would have been able to yank that pendant from your assailant. Tiamp says, I kind of like it when it doesn't crash. I think that's a good explanation of it.
Order! What is the meaning of this?
The meaning is that Miss Kira didn't actually hear the incantation like she claims she did.
But then why? Why on earth was this girl unconscious?
Could have been knocked in the noggin. You don't even freaking know. Kira was definitely knocked out by whoever attacked her. And when she woke up, she found herself up on the top floor of the bell tower. It's possible Miss Kira was rendered unconscious by some other kind of sleeping spell. Something other than magic. Another witch. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I'm not sure. Is this gonna lose? Like, am I gonna lose a shield for this? It doesn't look like I will, but I feel like another sleeping spell would be problematic in my case. Something other than magic. I wonder if that would be the case. Strangulation? I don't know. I guess you'd have to like check her for marks and things to make sure that there's like bruises or something. I have to take. The problem is if I say another witch, that ultimately like that would point towards the one witch that we are currently trying to. I'm gonna just say something other than magic. The answer here is obvious. Something other than magic must have knocked her out.
Objection.
And what, may I ask, makes you so certain of that? Is it not possible that another spell could have been used?
Objection.
That's just not possible. You, of all people, should know that.
What?
Miss Kira's claim that she heard someone say the incantation is completely false. Even so, that wouldn't be too much of a problem if she actually had heard an incantation.
That's right.
However, going by her testimony, that can't have been the case. The only spell capable of making someone lose consciousness is Faintfall. How do you know? Are you a knowledgeable person of the Grand Grimoire? I'm sorry. You have only lived in this reality, well, consciously within this reality for the past, 3 days? Isn't that right, High Inquisitor Darklaw? According to her face, it's right.
Defender, are you claiming that there's another way besides magic that could have been used to render Miss Kira unconscious?
There's several ways. There's only one other thing that crosses my mind. I'm speaking, of course, about sleeping medicine.
Sleeping medicine?
If you remember, Miss Kira stated that the attacker covered her mouth before she could scream. In doing that, the attacker was able to administer a potent sleeping medicine, thus putting Miss Kira out like a light.
Indeed. That does make sense.
Therefore, Your Honor, the attacker did not necessarily have to be Bazella. I mean, why would an all-powerful being capable of commanding any and all magic need to resort to drugging someone?
Objection.
How do we know it's drugs?
Hold it right there, Defender. They managed to sneak past the guards and make their way up to the bell tower. Clearly, they must have used magic to appear invisible.
Objection.
You don't need magic to make yourself disappear, High Inquisitor. Throw this on, and getting past those guards to the tower is a piece of cake.
This robe of invisibility.
But despite all that, there's still one glaring problem. Miss Kira. Yes. You admitted to the court earlier that you were attacked from the front, correct? If that's the case, then there's only one possible conclusion we can draw. You, Miss Kira, were entirely capable of seeing your attacker's face.
Why is that? I didn't...
It's simple. You even said it yourself. Only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see this robe. That means, Miss Kira, there is a piece of this puzzle only you could possibly know. Only you could tell us the identity of the person who entered the bell tower and attacked you tonight. If they were using a robe.
I can't tell you. No matter what happens, I just can't tell you. No matter what.
I hate the fact that we have to be the ones to play guessing game and figure it out ourselves. Just like, all right, well, by process of elimination, it's this person. It's crap. You see, everyone? This witness has been covering up for someone from the very start of the trial.
What?
But luckily for us, we won't be needing any more of Miss Kira's testimony. Because the answer is staring us right in the face. I'm speaking, of course, about the true identity of Miss Kira's attacker. All the clues so far point to this one person, and I don't freaking know who it is, so I'm gonna save. Meh.
Defender, I take it you are prepared to prove such a serious accusation?
I am. Alright. Looks like it all comes down to this. Now we'll finally see who's been pulling the strings this whole time.
Very well, Defender. Tell the court. Who was the one responsible for attacking the witness and locking her up on top of the floor of the bell tower?
Okay. Well, we don't want Espella to be the one. We do not want the storyteller to be the one. Well, I mean, technically speaking, he can't be the one because he's been out and about. High Inquisitor imprisoned Barnum for treason, took over I don't know. I would like to say you, but 10 town heroes have been guarding the bell tower ever since it appeared. I feel like out of anybody, it actually, well, okay, well, I would love to say it was one of the female vigilante, but you can't specify that, and we don't want to point Kira. Espella's pet cat was with her at the time of the incident. I don't really know 100% which one I could possibly pick. For shits and giggles, this seems like an important choice. All right, that narrows it down. Who was the one responsible for attacking the witness and locking her up at the top floor of the bell tower? We don't want Espella to be the one that did it, that's for sure. And when it comes to the vigilantes, I get this feeling that I don't think they would have known how to get up to the top of the bell tower. That's the thing. So the only thing I could possibly think, Darklaw, but what kind of proof do I have? I don't know. I think I just have to bite the bullet on this one.
Take that!
The answer is obvious, Your Honor. It was you, High Inquisitor Darklaw!
What?
Oh god, we are very deep entrenched in the soup.
Order, order, order in the court! Inconceivable! There's no way it...
I must say, Defender, your courage is impressive, however reckless you may be. Accusing a High Inquisitor is no small feat, I assure you. However, with serious accusations come serious consequences. One small misstep, and I will personally see that you never set foot in this courtroom ever again. Mark my words, Defender.
You'll probably also kill me, but let's just set that aside. I understand.
My, how confident. Let us see if that confidence of yours is well justified.
Miss Kira's attacker drugged her with sleep medicine. It likely took no more than a few seconds for her to lose consciousness. The medicine must have been very potent.
True. After all, its effects appear somewhat similar to magic.
There's only one person I can think of in all of Labyrinthia who could supply with that kind of medicine. Sir Newton Belduke.
Objection!
Defender, you are aware that Sir Belduke has been deceased for over 3 months now, are you not?
That's a fact I'm well aware of, believe me. While he was still alive, Sir Belduke provided the citizens of the town with a variety of medicines for whatever ailed them. But it wasn't all just medicine. He also created some very dangerous concoctions. That's why, after he passed away, all his medicines and creations were confiscated.
Confiscated?
Inquisitor Barnum said as such in the last witch trial. Flashback. The victim was an alchemist after all. We were hoping the items confiscated from his study could prove son of a. It's been a while since I've done his voice, so I am thrown off. We were hoping the items confiscated from his study could provide some clues. Besides, such things must not fall into the wrong hands. It may not be standard practice, but it was deemed necessary. The confiscated goods are stored in our secret vault. The only person who has access to them is the High Inquisitor, Lady Darklaw.
Ah,
Objection!
So because I have access to the medicine, I must be the one that used it. Is that what you're getting at, Defender? That's right.
Unfortunately for you, I would hardly call that proof. You said it yourself. Sir Belduke concocted a plethora of dangerous medicines in his effort to assist the people of the town. He was well known for this fact, a fact that he no doubt was none too pleased with. As such, it is highly likely that those same dangerous substances are still scattered throughout the town. And therefore, Defender, it is entirely possible that the culprit was able to get their hands on such dangerous medicine.
indeed. Long has Sir Belduke's medicine played an active part in maintaining the health of this town's citizens. There is plenty of reasons to believe some of his more dangerous medicines still remain within Labyrinthia.
A piece of advice, Defender. The next time you speak in court, I recommend you try procuring some real evidence before spouting such idiotic accusations. If you fail to do so, your next words will be uttered to the flames.
Figures. I knew she wouldn't take that argument sitting down.
Both High Inquisitor Darklaw and Inquisitor Barnum are the very harbingers of justice within Labyrinthia. Raising such an accusation against either one of them without valid reason will result in the most severe of punishments.
What does he mean by most severe of punishments? Well, look at the fire pit behind you, lady. I think the judge is saying that if I don't start making a case, we're going to be paying Sir Belduke a visit real soon. No, worse than that. I need to present some decisive evidence and fast. Give me a moment. I don't know what that decisive evidence is, so... Oh, no! We're fine. We're good. I can pull this out of the water. I'm pretty sure I should be able to do that much. High Inquisitor Darklaw is the attacker. And the one thing that proves it is... a piece of evidence. Someone's profile. Darklaw herself. Well, let's look at the court record and look at profiles, because I'm not entirely sure. Defendant accused of murdering Storyteller. Aspella's father and the creator of Labyrinthia killed by the Fire Dragon. The High Inquisitor imprisoned Barnum for treason and took over as the Inquisitor in this trial. Aspella's pet cat was with her at the time. The heroes. And the Flower Girl. I don't know if anyone's profile would do the job. What about the evidence? Okay, High Inquisitor Darklaw is the attacker, and the one thing that proves it... Okay, so the attacker that attacked Kira. Who would it be, and what would point towards Darklaw as being the person that was attacked? Visible only to them. Mechanics from the middle floor of the bell tower. Sketch of the entire bell tower. I'm kind of leaning towards the idea of maybe the pendant having something to do with it. Kira ripped it off her assailant's neck, injuring them. Blood stains can be seen on the strap. You know, we did talk about the fact that the blood stains, if this is indeed blood stains, and it's not what I was originally thinking at one point, then let's think about these guys' character a little bit. She is kind of wearing a choker of sorts. Not really. I wouldn't call it too much of a choker. I suppose Asbella Cantabella. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and also use Darklaw's logic and say that in the event that she was ever indeed injured, and she was this great witch of ours, she could probably have healed it and didn't need the use of choker. So, in that regard, I don't know if that would work. You know what? This seems like an important piece of thing. I'm going to use a hit coin. Alright. It's either a piece of evidence or Darklaw herself. I honestly don't think that anything of our evidence could solve this. And we can see that it has nothing to do with profile, so that's good. I am going to test this out and see if it's on Darklaw herself. That would be the proof. The defense believes there is one clue here linking High Inquisitor Darklaw to the crime. High Inquisitor! That clue is actually still on you right now! On me?
I must admit, I do not know where you are going with this, Defender, but please point out this clue to the court. Show us this clue supposedly still on the High Inquisitor's person.
Oh boy, that is an unfortunate place for the window to be. Anyway. What would the proof be? I keep leaning towards the choker thing. But I have the suspicion that this is wrong. It's the cat hair thingies on left breast. Point to everything. I'm going to take it was really hinting at the idea of the whole neck thing. So I'm going to try this.
Got it.
Did that work?
The High Inquisitor's neck? You don't mean...
Miss Kira yanked this pendant off of her attacker's neck. Take a look at the necklace. It still has a bit of blood left on it. According to her earlier testimony, when Miss Kira pulled at the necklace, she supposedly felt herself scratch the attacker's neck. Is that correct, Miss Kira?
Yes.
Therefore, the attacker should still have a mark on their neck from having been scratched.
Whoa!
Would you mind letting the court take a look at your neck, High Inquisitor Darklaw? I'm pretty sure that underneath that son of a bitch, I've ruined this line. I'm pretty sure that underneath that high collar, we'll find exactly the mark we're looking for. Unless, of course, you were able to get rid of it with magic. Or you can get the blood analyzed. I think you forget we are currently living in 18th century storybook land. No, we cannot. I mean, she's not really trapped in any way. If it turns out there's no mark on there whatsoever, then that basically just means that she could say, I wasn't the one who did it. This is just my cravat. Fuck you. And that's it. The only thing that could possibly trick her at this point is if she does have a scar there. And I guess this would prove that she isn't a witch. Maybe. Either that or this is really bad storytelling.
Most impressive.
What?
I have to say, Defender, you've managed to finally hone that dull blade of yours into something of use. You are correct. There is, in fact, a mark on my neck that I did receive tonight.
What? What?
Lady Darklaw?
What is the meaning of this?
Does that mean Lady Darklaw is the Great Witch?
Yeah, wouldn't that be silly? Your Honor?
Sorry, I just woke up. Oh, yes, I see you're still here, Defender.
Your Honor? I know you're shocked and everything, but come on, work with me here. Your Honor, the defense would like to call High Inquisitor Darklaw to the witness stand.
What did you just say?
It's quite clear that the High Inquisitor has some connection to what transpired tonight. And what's more, there's a chance that she used her position of authority as High Inquisitor to frame my client as the Great Witch.
But never in all my years as judge of this court has an Inquisitor been asked to take the stand in the middle of the trial.
Well, we're gonna have to make some history here, or we're finally gonna find the truth, Your Honor. You can't do that, Phoenix. Not without finding a new Inquisitor first. Well, let's hope that we can get one.
Even so, this trial cannot continue any further.
Yeah, hey, you got it, Mario. Hey, in that case, how about you get Inquisitor Bart?
Inquisitor Barnum remains incarcerated in the underground dungeons for the crime of treason against the storyteller. I don't think he will be able to make it to this party.
No way! Mario's... Oh my god, I was kidding!
Most regrettable, Defender.
Well, Ace Attorney still isn't following the rules.
This whole thing is hopeless. Unless High Inquisitor Darklaw takes to the witness stand, Espella will be done for, and the truth along with her. But on the other hand, without an Inquisitor on the other side, the trial can't continue, and the outcome would end up the same. What should I do?
Hold it.
Holy shit! Mario, I think you might have predicted it again.
I believe I can fill that role.
Professor, wait, what are you saying?
I can prove, conclusively, that Espella Cantabella is, in fact, the Great Witch Bazella.
You faking asshole.
Now, Mr. Wright, the time has come at last to settle this once and for all.
Let's do it. Team up. Conspiracy!
We've been waiting for the professor to show up.
Maya isn't in her disguise. Oh, maybe that was a story gaffe.
If there was anyone who could find some decisive evidence to win this thing, it was him. However, he ended up standing behind the Inquisitor's bench. The professor wasn't on our side here. I had to wonder, what the heck was going to happen?
Oh, we know the deal. We know what's about to happen. Oh, come on, Phoenix. Edgeworth has done this countless times. Exactly. He's like, you know, collusion to conspire to make it so that our client is,
What
you
are
know...
you doing? What am I doing, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, you were supposed to show up with some decisive evidence and save the day, Professor.
I'm afraid my only concern here is the truth.
The truth?
Funny enough, this is the only time where I think Phoenix Wright is actually going to fight against Professor Layton.
The truth behind the real identity of the Great Witch, Espella Cantabella. If seeking the truth requires us to stand on opposite sides of the courtroom, then so be it. I expect you to defend Miss Cantabella with everything you've got, Mr. Wright.
Court is now back in session. Are you prepared, High Inquisitor?
So long as I remain on the witness stand, I am no longer High Inquisitor. Simply Darklaw will suffice.
Miss Darklaw, I'd like to just confirm something. A moment ago, we established that you were in fact present at the bell tower during the time of the incident. That makes a total of 3 people at the scene.
It would appear that was the case.
However, you managed to stay hidden from 10 different guards. With the help of this right here.
The robe of invisibility.
To be frank, a lot of crossovers use the term versus even if they don't fight. Well, it's kind of fitting that now it's, it works now. In other words, there is every reason to be suspicious of your actions tonight. Why couldn't Storyteller write the bakery owner as the Inquisitor? It would have been funny.
Now hold your horses there.
Lady Darklaw, while I cannot believe you would deceive us in such a way, I ask that you tell the court what happened at the time of the incident.
Very well.
Or write the cat as the Inquisitor. Give it a minute.
The town square was to be the parade's final stop. I patrolled the perimeter to ensure nothing was amiss. As I passed by the bell tower, a pair of small footprints leading inside caught my eye. I went inside to investigate. I had my own reasons for not allowing any one of those vigilantes to see me. I climbed the stairs up the bell tower and saw an intruder inside with their back turned. I proceeded to apprehend them.
You apprehended the intruder?
While I hold the position of High Inquisitor, there are often times where I must partake in various secret tasks, unbeknownst to the citizens of Labyrinthia.
Phoenix versus cat.
One of those tasks being ensuring the security of the storyteller.
Security?
As such, there's nothing odd nor suspicious about my actions tonight.
I see. Defender, you may now begin your interrogation.
Well, at least I have a friend on the other side of the table. In theory. Okay. Do some saves, and let's go ahead and press stuff. Nothing was amiss. You mean there was no immediate threat to the storyteller, right?
I've got friends on the other side. Now you tell me, Defender, surely you remember the final part of the story.
She must mean the part about the storyteller's death.
There's little possibility of changing the outcome of what has already been written in the story. However, there are still those who would challenge the story and make an attempt at changing the inevitable.
That is what I too think.
See, now we know that he's bullshitting because he knows he's alive. What's up, Maya? Did you notice something? You could say that. It's just, look at Kira. She's been looking down in the dumps since the start. All right, Kira. I honestly forgot she was still here. Hey! Not only that, she looks sort of scared, too. You're right. We can't afford to forget about her. I wonder if Kira has anything else she could tell us. I've got to remember to question her the second I see an opening. Derp! I know that already, I figured.
As I passed by the bell tower, a pair of small footprints leading inside caught my eye. Went inside.
Hold it!
Those must have been Miss Kira's footprints from when she snuck into the bell tower, right?
Indeed. The ground outside was quite muddy after the rain, so her footprints were easily visible.
Right. According to the vigilante's testimony. They thought the footprints looked like Foxy's, but it turned out they weren't hers.
That's right. Her footprints would have contained a mark where her stiletto had been. But the footprints I saw at the bell tower contained no heel marks at all.
And you stepped inside those footprints on your way up to the stairs so as not to leave your own and risk being detected, correct?
Exactly. At that time, my main task was to ensure the safety of the town square. In doing so, it was of the utmost importance that no one knew of my presence there.
Had the townspeople noticed your presence there, it would undoubtedly have raised some suspicion.
Indeed, so naturally, that is why I did not wish to be noticed by the vigilantes. Therefore, it was imperative that I mask any traces of my being there, even if it meant utilizing another's footprints.
Convenient as hell. Clever tactic worthy of High Inquisitor herself.
Is there anything off about her testimony just now? Poor Kira. I guess I don't know what. Usually when something, I don't know, when they bring a question like this up in Phoenix Wright games, it tends to be absolutely correct about something being very wrong. But I also don't want to lose any of my shield. Screw it. Miss Darklaw, I just noticed something in your testimony that's very relevant to the case. The defense requests you amend your testimony. You just can't help letting that ridiculous imagination of yours run wild, can you?
The Inquisition has no objections.
Very well, the witness will amend her testimony.
There was no heel on the footprints, so as I ascended the stairs, I was careful to match my footprints to them as far as possible.
Hold it!
Miss Darklaw, what was your reason for going up into the bell tower alone?
Is as I said earlier, I was in the town square to make sure the area was secure.
Okay, but surely you had some inkling that Bazzello might have been lurking around there somewhere, right? Wouldn't it have been a lot better if you went into the bell tower with some backup from the vigilantes?
Defender, you witnessed the summoning of the fire dragon with your own eyes, did you not? 10 more people at my side against a power such as that would only mean 10 more lives lost.
She's got a point there.
And besides, even if those 10 had been with me, their combined strength is nary that of even Barnum's annoying mutt.
No objections here.
Say, Nick, about Darklaw's testimony, I think I noticed something kind of fishy.
Yeah, me too. It'd probably be a good idea to give the court record another check just in case. Yep, I think I have an idea about what's happening here, but no heel on the footprints, so as I ascended the stairs, I was careful to match my footsteps to them as far as... I mean, so no heel on the footprints? Do we have any kind of proof to show? I mean... I mean, clearly there's a heel in that, but I'm just I'm concerned that I'm going to completely misinterpret these clues. Whatever.
Objection!
There we go. What I have here is a sketch of the footprints left at the bell tower. So, tell me, Miss Darklaw, are these your footprints in the sketch?
It would appear so. I would never mean to offend the hard work of Labyrinthia's vigilantes, but tonight's task was mine and mine alone.
Okay, when you put it that way, I can't help but notice a contradiction.
What did you say?
Miss Darklaw, you stated the following. When you climbed the stairs, the footprints had no heel, so you tried to match your footsteps to them as far as possible. However, if you look at the actual footprints that were left behind, you can clearly see that not only is the heel present, but so is the entire foot. If you were trying so hard to step on the footprints already there, then the footprints in this sketch shouldn't have heel marks.
That is very true, although I do not think such a small detail is of much importance in the long run.
Have you seen some of the court hearings I've had, Your Honor? Yes, it is. I agree, it's a small detail, Your Honor. But that's not all I noticed. There's something very telling about Miss Darklaw's testimony.
Telling, you say?
She stated that she stepped on to the footprints that were already at the scene in order to disguise her presence. Now, there's something strange there. Specifically, why were these footprints left at the crime scene in the first place?
Objection.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Professor?
Tell me, can you show the court why this seemingly minor detail is odd?
I can't exactly do that at the moment.
Who can say whether or not these footprints are indeed worthy of concern? And if it is an issue, then what exactly are the implications? That, above all, is what you must answer, Mr. Wright. I do not believe you can assert that this is a blatant contradiction at this time.
So I timed it wrong. There he goes again, flexing that amazing brain of his. Yeah, speak, goddammit. What is it, Miss Kira?
Oh. It's nothing, really.
What the heck was that about? It looked like Kira definitely had something she wanted to say just now. We have yet to fear from this this professor. Oh, definitely. More scares.
It would appear the witness has nothing to add. Lady Darklaw, will you please continue with your testimony?
Of course.
Kira, goddammit! Anyway, Darklaw shouldn't be able to explain her way out of trouble much longer. There's gotta be something more to those footprints, but what? Okay, I feel like that is the proper avenue, but I need to unlock something else in this testimony. So, just put down a save file to make sure I'm good. Well, funny enough, passed by the bell tower, a pair of small footprints leading inside. I wonder if maybe... I'm going to try and press on a couple of these things that I had pressed on previously. And I'm going to see if maybe there's something new to them. Probably not, but let's see. See. Yep, Kira is downtrodden, very sad. And I'm currently looking for something. What about the... No heel footprints, ascended stairs, careful, match footprints. Alright. Can't do anything with this right now. Had my own reasons for not allowing any one of those vigilantes to see me.
Hold it!
Don't see any reason why this would help me. And what were those reasons? Hello, Tim. How's it going?
They relate to protecting the storyteller. It was something I was to carry out at that particular time.
Did it perhaps have something to do with what was already decided upon the story?
The storyteller's word is absolute. Therefore, any and all those who make an attempt to alter his will must be dealt with immediately.
Hey, lady. You're a little bit shaky.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Kira. Witness!
Yeah, yes.
Figures. She really doesn't remember her own name. You seem to be deep in thought about something. Did you remember anything regarding the High Inquisitor's testimony?
No, I'm sorry. Nothing in particular. It's just... I'm a little disappointed in myself.
Disappointed?
I traveled all the way here to Labyrinthia in order to fulfill my mission, but all I managed to do was fail and end up being captured.
Regardless of your own failure, Miss Kira, the storyteller did die as we foretold, did he not?
Tonight, as the rain came pouring down over the town, I arrived at my designated location. Naturally, the bell tower was surrounded by guards on patrol, 10 to be exact. I was very nervous.
She must be talking about the vigilantes.
Just relax. You'll be fine so long as you're wearing this robe. I kept telling myself. Little did I know I was wrong. But none of this would have happened if I was just a little bit more careful.
Enough! I would be thinking more about atoning for your past crimes and less about what could have been if I were you.
Is there anything wrong with Kira's testimony? I'm gonna say yes. Hold on a second. About your testimony, Miss Kira. You were thinking to yourself that so long as you had your robe on, you would be fine.
Yes, that's right. I was.
So basically, you were wearing the robe the whole time. You were on top the top floor of the bell tower. Is that right?
Yes, I had it on the entire time. That is until I was attacked. Then my robe was ripped off by the wind.
Miss Kira, this is the first time we've heard any mention of this information.
Is that so? I think I must have just forgotten.
Your Honor, perhaps we should update this piece of evidence in the court record.
Right you are.
Invisibly robe, okay, worn by Kira when she was attacked. Visible only to Eldritch Woods residents.
Lady Darklaw, please continue your testimony.
That's an interesting little bit of info. See, thing is, no heel footprints, so I ascended stairs, careful to match footprints. Climbed stairs, bell tower, saw intruder. Yeah. Had my own reasons for not allowing any one of those vigilantes to see. I climbed the stairs up the bell tower and saw an intruder inside with their back turned. See, that's interesting. I almost want to call bullshit on that right now. I'm saving just in case. Because, technically speaking, you shouldn't have been able to even see at all. You know, invisibility robe worn by Kira when she was attacked. Visible only to Eldritch Woods residents. You're not a resident of Eldritch Woods, so how did you manage to see her?
Objection!
Yep. So the person you saw when you entered the bell tower was actually Miss Kira. The only problem with that is that it would have been impossible.
What are you talking about,
Defender? Miss Kira, or should I say, the witness, stated that while she was waiting on the upper floor of the tower, she was wearing her invisibility robe. I'm a resident on my mother's side. No. Therefore, there's no way Miss Darklaw would have been able to see the witness.
Oh, you're quite right. Anyone wearing this robe becomes invisible.
Right, but there is just one particular group that can see anyone dressed in this robe.
And who is that exactly?
Only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see the robe. If you're from the Eldritch Woods, then you'll have absolutely no problem seeing this thing.
Objection.
So what you are saying, Mr. Wright, is that Miss Darklaw here actually hails from the Eldritch Woods. Is that correct? And that she knew this girl prior to tonight?
That's right, Professor.
What is this?
A most impressive display, Mr. Wright. However, there's one detail that you appear to have overlooked.
Something I overlooked?
You say Miss Darklaw said something she should not have been able to see. However, the truth is that there is one other possibility as to what occurred tonight.
Did he just say what I think he said?
It's rather easy to work out. Quite simply, the witness was not wearing the robe in the first place.
What are you talking about, Inquisitor?
No, she couldn't have taken off the... I mean, I don't know if she would have taken off the robe. She said she had it on the entire time.
This witness has proven her memory of tonight's event to be quite unreliable. I believe that by the time she climbed the bell tower, she had in fact already removed her robe.
What? 'Tis as you say, Inquisitor.
Where?
As you can see, Defender, your assertion is mere speculation at best. Your little witness here has been lying to the court the entire time. It's as simple as that. That's enough.
Miss Kira?
Lady Darklaw, how could you? How could you simply abandon us? How could you betray us?
Hides the robe, yes, but does it hide the face? I mean, I would like to think that it would hide somebody entirely.
Betray! Witness, what is the meaning of this?
Lady Darklaw, you are the mistress of the Eldritch Woods. You are the one responsible for handing us our tasks.
What?
This wretched girl is nothing more than a detestable spawn of magic. Her words cannot be taken seriously. People of Labyrinthia, I ask you, what am I, if not a loyal daughter of this fair town? No, you're lying, Lady Darklaw! When I was waiting up there at the top of the bell tower, I was most certainly wearing that robe. Lady Darklaw, you were also wearing a similar robe, were you not? Don't you remember?
Yes. Keep it coming. Keep it rolling.
What nonsense. I haven't a clue what you're babbling about. I simply managed to sneak right by those makeshift guards. 'Twas not the most demanding of tasks for someone like me. Yes, you're right. That would be true. If you'd been sneaking around by yourself.
By yourself? Witness...
Enough! Listen to me and listen well. Continue as you are, and I will see to it that this court be the last place in which you ever set foot. It matters not. The end is already nigh. After the events of today, I shouldn't even be here right now.
Miss Kira, you're saying that Miss Darklaw was not by herself at the time of the incident tonight?
That's right. Lady Darklaw was wearing the invisibility robe. And underneath that robe was a young girl passed out on her neck.
Or back, rather. What?
A girl? Could it be?
Yes. It was the very same girl imprisoned inside that cage up there.
You mean... Espella Cantabella?
This doesn't necessarily prove that she's not a witch.
Order! So, the accused was carried up the bell tower?
My lord, there's nothing left for me to say. 'Tis the word of the High Inquisitor versus that of a witch. Tell me, who would you sooner believe?
Objection.
Miss Darklaw, you of all people should be aware that this isn't a matter of believing or not believing. I'm afraid those are words that carry no meaning here. The only thing that carries any meaning here within the courtroom is evidence. Don't you agree, Mr. Wright?
Yes, absolutely, Professor.
Well now, things are beginning to heat up. A little, are they not? Fine, tell me, Defender. Have you the means to prove this assertion?
I don't know. I am really unsure about that one. Were there two robes? How do I do?
Do you actually think you can prove that I, the High Inquisitor of Labyrinthia, carried the accused into the bell tower?
From the looks of it, Miss Kira was supposed to keep quiet about Darklaw's little secret. But she couldn't deal with all of Darklaw's denials and finally found the guts to chime in. I can't let Kira's efforts go to waste. I don't care what stands in my way. I'm gonna find the truth. Your Honor, the defense wishes to present evidence proving that Miss Darklaw did, in fact, carry my client up the tower.
Very well, Defender. You may present your evidence. Show us the evidence that proves Lady Darklaw carried the accused up the bell tower.
Well, if you want to be technical about this shit, you could say that there's only one set of footprints.
Take that!
Is it really that simple? There was something in your testimony just now that I'm not buying. And that's the footprints that were left at the bell tower. Did I not just finish admitting that those were my footprints? Miss Darklaw, you stated the following. There was no heel on the footprints, so as I ascended the stairs, I was careful to match my footsteps to them as far as possible. However, the reality is, the footprints pictured in the sketch actually do contain a heel. That means something must have prevented you from being able to tiptoe along the footprints that were already there.
Prevented... Oh, you mean...
Darklaw could be stupidly strong. You don't know. That's right, Your Honor. Miss Darklaw, when you climbed up the bell tower tonight, you must have been carrying Miss Cantabella on your back. Is that correct? If you remember, it rained quite heavily tonight. That means the stairs must have been quite slippery. With your two hands occupied carrying the client, there would be no safe way for you to tiptoe up the stairs without falling. That right there is the truth behind the footprints on the staircase. But she could have a lot of dexterity, almost like a cat.
Lady Darklaw, you...
Nah, she ain't done yet.
Fine. I admit it. It is as you say. I donned the robe and made my way up to the tower. But I was not alone. I carried both Espella Cantabella and her little friend up this tower with me.
Little friend?
That black-furred creature of hers, the thing is nary even a second from her side.
Oh, she must be Neve.
When I arrived at the top of the tower, I saw this girl already there and called out to her. I was very shocked to see the mistress show up in person like that. The girl's presence was an inconvenience, so I immediately put her to sleep.
Believe it or not, it's just like you said, Defender. I used what remained of Belduke's medicine to put the girl out of the picture. And that's when Miss Kira put up a fight and pulled this pendant right off your neck, correct?
That's right.
I cannot fathom it. That would mean this pendant actually belongs to you, Lady Darklaw.
Getcha. Well, now that we know that that pendant belongs to her, what does that open up? I just have one question, Miss Darklaw. Why? Why take Espella up the bell tower? Why render her unconscious? And why go through the trouble of sneaking past the guards? What exactly was your aim in all this?
I am in no way obliged to answer that question, Defender.
I think you are. You're in court. What? What makes you say that?
Simple. None of this has any relevance to the case at hand. That's why.
Objection!
Miss Darklaw, you rendered the witness unconscious and locked her up at the top of the bell tower. I'd say that's more than a little relevant.
Objection.
Your Honor, if I may, the Inquisition believes the defense's question to be irrelevant to the current case.
Professor, what are you saying?
It would seem the defense has forgotten of... the defense has forgotten of... Son of a bitch. It would seem the defense has forgotten a very important point. Namely, the point of this, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
The aim of this trial is to find the identity of the Great Witch Bazella. Whether or not Miss Darklaw locked the witness at the top of the bell tower is hardly relevant to the purpose of this trial.
Bullshit. But
there's one thing that is very clear. Neither Miss Darklaw nor this witness could possibly be Bazella.
what?
If either one of the two were Bazella, then there would be no need for them to have used this robe of invincibility. They cannot use any magic, therefore it is inconceivable that either of them could be the Great Witch.
A rather straightforward argument if there ever was one.
At the time of the incident, there were 3 people present. Of those 3, two used the robe of invisibility to vanish from sight, leaving only one person. Indeed, Miss Cantabella.
You know, does this prove that there's a chance that we might have an Espella here that got up there because she was shielded by the invisibility cloak? And that there might be a 4th person now? Could that be a thing?
With this in mind, the larger question is, who is Bazella?
Is that not obvious? The accused, Espella Cantabella, is the only possible answer. Besides, the accused's voice was heard by all the townspeople, chanting the spell Grand Worm.
Objection!
Not so fast! I happen to think these witnesses are extremely relevant to this trial. Did you forget about Miss Kara? She supposedly took a one-way trip into that pit of fire over there. And yet, here she is, in one piece, testifying that she returned in order to kill the ruler of Labyrinthia, the storyteller. Then there's Miss Darklaw, who rendered the defendant unconscious and proceeded to transport her up the bell tower. I'd say there's more than enough reason to investigate who these two really are.
Only to discover that they are not, in fact, the Great Witch Bazella?
I'm saying there's a possibility that these two are somehow related to Bazella.
The court will now announce its thoughts on the matter. I must say, what Inquisitor Layton has stated certainly does ring true.
Oh, don't tip your fedora, you ass.
However, Lady Darklaw, I have one question I must ask you. What exactly were you hoping to accomplish here tonight?
I assure you, it was not my intent to deceive the good citizens of Labyrinthia. However, I must now reveal the truth to you all.
Man, what did she say? You don't think Lady Darklaw is in league with witches, do you? She can't be. She was the one that saw to that other witch's demise.
Lady Darklaw, are you saying that you're...
That's right, my lord. I am a shade.
A shade? I mean, that makes sense.
Lady Darklaw, will you please tell the court exactly what you mean when you say shade?
Yes, of course. I grow weary of standing behind this bench. I will tell you all I can.
What the heck's she trying to pull? Why testify about something that could potentially undermine your credibility? Maybe because she is more than a shade, and she's trying to cover it up. Think, Mr. Phoenix.
Shades live outside the realm of those who dwell within Labyrinthia. To them I am known as the Great Witch. Those that are put to the flames from the witch's trial become shades. Those, who live their lives in the woods. We exist to carry our task given to us by our mistress, the Great Witch herself. I am not a witch, nor am I a wandering spirit.
What on earth? High Inquisitor Darklaw, do you mean to say that not only are you a witch, but that you're the Great Witch?
Well, you're not exactly Bazella, though.
Unbelievable. Lady Darklaw's the Great Witch.
The Great Witch? Doesn't that mean she's Bazella? That's right, Lady Darklaw is Bazella.
I do hope you have not forgotten what we established only moments ago. It is not possible for Miss Darklaw to be Bazella.
But Inquisitor Layton, surely the testimony just now proves it.
I am afraid that in the heat of such revelations you have all misheard the information.
'Tis pointless. This is the extent of what the people of this town will believe.
Sheeple.
I believe the truth will become clear during our cross-examination. Don't you agree, Mr. Wright?
I'm so scared. Defender, you may begin your interrogation.
Very well, I will save right here. So yes, she has admitted to being a shade. Can we dig anything more out of this? Boink. Great Witch?
Yes, that's right. However, I am not Bazella. The mistress to those who dwell in the Eldritch Woods is dubbed the Great Witch. Even if I wanted to be Bazella, I couldn't. As the ever-so-charming Inquisitor stated earlier, I cannot use magic.
Miss Darklaw, I have one question. What do you mean by live outside the realm?
I mean just that, Inquisitor. We truly do live in a realm separate from this town. Now, surely, one as intelligent as yourself has worked out the answer by now, no?
Perhaps that remains to be seen by Miss Doglaw.
Regardless, 'tis something we cannot discuss with anyone. But it is something that the defense should be able to prove.
That almost sounds like a challenge. By the way, Miss Darklaw, since you're not actually a witch, why do you continue to be called that?
To answer that, I must first discuss the true identity of the Shades. Those that are put to the flames in the witches' trials become Shades, who live their lives in the woods.
Hold it!
So you're saying that that Kira here right now is a Shade version of the Kira from before?
Indeed, Defender. The girl has no recollection of her life prior to living in those woods.
What manner of witchery is this? Why, this girl, Kira the flower seller, was cast straight to the flames before our very eyes!
That's right, Your Honor. But as you can see, she didn't die. You see, there's actually a trick to the incineration device of the witch's court.
A trick?
How do people not know about this? Like, how did they hide this stuff behind such an elaborate wall for the entire time? It's kind of the same thing with, like, the, yeah, it pretty much is exactly like the Wizard of Oz. It's like, pay no attention to the curtain. How did you get the curtain up in the first place? Holy hell. Like, how did you manage to set up all that nonsense and get so many people to believe you? Once the verdict has been delivered, the court attendants move the steel cage into position, after which it seals shut. Yup. Quite the fireworks show. Then, the cage is dropped down into a pit of fire. The bottom of the cage then opens, allowing the witch inside to escape unharmed into an underground passage.
If what you're saying is true, Defender, then what of this town's witch-purging history? What has been the purpose of all this?
Simple. There has been no purpose, Your Honor. You have been living a lie.
You and the knights have indeed been ridding Labyrinthia of witches. However, nary a single life has been taken in the process. That is the reality.
Right. We've been taking our problem and pushing it somewhere else.
But you cannot truly expect me to believe such a ridiculous notion.
Your Honor, who is saying this? Oh, it's Maya! Take a good hard look! It doesn't get any more alive than this!
Oh, God! It's you!
I am May! Not quite. Close but no cigar. Well, it's actually Maya Fey, your forgetfulness.
What the heck are you doing? Everyone's gonna recognize you!
Yeah, but seeing is believing, Nick. Now they have to believe you.
Do you see? Are you satisfied? All those found guilty in the witches' trials lose their names, magic, and memory. They are then sent to spend their lives as shades in the Eldritch Woods. And the mistress of those shades is the Great Witch. As you can see, this girl too has become a shade.
Very pale shade at that.
I have no more words to express my utter disbelief at this situation.
That's enough. Shall we return to the testimony?
Why do we have the feeling things are going to get a lot worse? I feel like that was also a very important piece of testimony since, you know, now Maya has been revealed.
We exist to carry our tasks given to us by our mistress, the Great Witch herself.
Hold it!
These tasks you mentioned, were you acting on them this evening?
Yes. I was told to come here and become Bazella.
Well, wait, just a moment, witness. Did you just say become Bazella?
Yeah, whatever.
My, how absolutely dreadful!
Why would anyone be given such a terrible task?
Where have these shades come from?
Right, the shades are of your own horrible creation, town people.
Order, order!
I'm sorry. I don't know why I was given such a task. All I can do is follow the orders I'm given.
Again, by Dark Law, can we ask some questions?
If I can do that, then I can return.
What do you mean, you can return?
Such is the nature of the shades. Neither human nor witch. Theirs is an existence spent in the shadows. Each of the shades is given its specific tasks. Then, upon successfully completing such tasks, they are allowed to return to Labyrinthia as brand new people.
Ooh, like reincarnation.
But, Lady Darklaw, how can they return as a brand new citizen? When we already know who they were. For instance, we all recognize the former flower seller standing before us.
Now that, my lord, remains a secret. But a secret you will come to understand sooner rather than later.
Simply baffling.
The one who gives us our tasks is the Great Witch. That would be you, Lady Darklaw. Oh, Magnificent One.
While this explanation is wrought with much I cannot comprehend, I request the witness add it to their testimony.
Okay.
What am I supposed to do with that? Lady Darklaw was our, venerable mistress. She assigned us our tasks. She was the Great Witch.
Hold it!
Anything I can do with that? So, about these tasks, can you give us any other examples?
A shade's task must never be discussed with others, no matter what.
She says that even though she just finished telling us about her secret task.
Incidentally, do you perhaps remember when you arrived back in town to carry out your orders?
Well, not really. My memory is still a little fuzzy.
Say, didn't Kara once just recently become one of those shade thingies?
Still, I failed in my task tonight.
Come to think of it, when Luke and I had our little run-in with Kira, I remember being blown clear across the marketplace. But I never saw any explosives or gunpowder. Maybe Kira was given the task of blowing you to smithereens, Nick. And we're done. Getting back to the testimony. I'm sure there's something here that just doesn't add up. Very well. Not a witch, nor am I a wandering spirit. I don't know, you seem to be kind of a wandering spirit. You really don't have any recollection of your old flower-selling self, do you?
I don't. When a witch becomes a shade, they lose all memory of their past life.
They lose their memories? But why?
And yet you still have some grasp on the concept of magic, do you not, Witness?
Let me spell it out for you. Magic does not exist in the Eldritch Woods. Oh, but there are actually lots of things back in the forest that I have not seen in this town.
There are things you haven't seen here?
Like really huge machines that sort of thing. There's one that spits out fire with such amazing speed, and then it expels these huge fumes of gray smoke.
A machine that spits fire? Never have I heard such a thing. Are you certain that these machines of which you speak are not simply magic?
You know, now that you mention it. Yep. It's an advanced piece of machinery, so clearly it's magic.
I don't think anyone from this town can actually see those of us from the forest.
They can't see you? Could it be something like that robe?
How can such a thing even be possible without magic?
Objection.
Hello. You have an idea?
Miss Darklaw, if I may interrupt for just a moment.
What is it, Inquisitor Layton?
Through your testimony just now, we have all come to understand the process of how one becomes a shade.
Is Eldritch in the real world? No. It's in this weird, like, other side story kind of thing. It's strange. I don't know. Like, the town is the main story, and then the Eldritch Woods is some off-story where the witches end up. And the real world just seems to be out in the ether somewhere, and we can't reach it. Still confused as to how we're supposed to get there.
However, I was hoping you could perhaps elaborate on one additional point. Namely, what exactly is the purpose behind the shades?
There's a very good freaking question. They seem to make a lot of dye.
If you wish to know our purpose, there are certain other things you must first understand. Once you've done that, the answer should be quite clear. Isn't that right, Defender?
The purpose behind the shades?
Rest assured, you will not get the answer from me. As the saying goes, the witch is in your court, Defender.
Sounds like Darklaw is challenging me to figure this out. Challenge accepted. How? There's but one true purpose for the shades that dwell with... Okay, I feel like this is what I need to present stuff on. I'm going to save real quick, and then I'm going to think about this. One true purpose of the shades. What could the shades' purpose be? I'm going to look at the evidence. There's the pendant. Report. Bell tower. Sketch of the entire bell tower. Mechanism. The robe. I don't friggin' know. I have no friggin' clue. I'm going to press on this. Miss Darklaw, what is the purpose of the shades?
As mistress to the shades, I cannot disclose the purpose of their existence.
Well then, since Miss Darklaw is unable to tell us herself, it seems we must rely on evidence instead.
Evidence, huh?
I do believe the shades could have something to do with that which exists in this town, but ought not to.
Something that exists, but... Oh, fuck off.
Well, Defender, are you prepared to present evidence?
I am, Your Honor. I was born ready, Your Honor. Nice hint. Something that exists in this town but shouldn't. I think I know what you're getting at, Professor.
Defender, please present your evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. The purpose of the shades could be to make sure this particular thing exists in Labyrinthia. And, you know, there happens to be a bell tower that just spontaneously popped out of thin air.
Take that!
No? Well, how about this? Oh, God.
Defender, just the other day, you found yourself caught up in a nasty little explosion in the marketplace, did you not?
Yes, that's right.
Well then, the Shade's goal should be rather simple to work out. It was to rid Labyrinthia of useless time-wasting defenders and ridiculous blue outfits.
Boy, that was cold-blooded.
There's but one thing these shades must ensure exists in this world.
Son of a bitch. There are many potential answers. Good.
Perhaps it would be in your best interest not to anger the witness with an irrelevant answer for a second time.
Could the defense please have another chance to think it through, Your Honor? Alright, fine. Oh, fuck off. Alright.
Hold it!
Maybe I don't have the proper answer, maybe. Maybe I need a piece of evidence in order to make this work. Yeah, I have the suspicion I probably don't have it, but let me try. Something that exists in this town but shouldn't. Purpose of the shades could be to make sure this particular thing exists in Labyrinthia. Mechanism from the middle floor of the bell tower. Probably not. Not the vigilantes. Not the pendant. Maybe... No. The purpose of the shades could be to make sure this particular thing exists in Labyrinthia. You think the storyteller might have something to do with it?
Take that!
Nope, probably not. Well, how about this?
Defender, just the other day, you found yourself caught up...
Oh, right there. I've seen this thing already. Okay. I feel like I should probably just mulligan this and, like, try one more thing.
Hold it!
Just to get my health back. Because I really like those 3 shields I had. Maybe the cat? No. I think that playing the cat at this stage, I'm sure the cat will come into question. But before that happens, I'm sure I need to present something else. The purpose of the shades could be to make sure this particular thing exists in Labyrinthia. Something in the town that exists that shouldn't. I mean, the Grand Grimoire is just talking about spells. That's probably nothing to do with it. What about profiles? Can I think about profiles again? No. No, not really. Here, I'm gonna... Go back to evidence. Missile never got a profile, and Polly was evidence. Seems odd to have a profile. I know. I'm sure the cat will show up eventually, but not now. But what would it be? I don't think it... The case outline would not be it. I'm going to guess the invisible robe. I'm pretty sure it is not right. And I feel like I need to get some more information for this.
Take that!
Nope, screwed it up. It could be the contraption. If all else fails, I'll try that next.
Accused true identity has been proven beyond a doubt.
How? How is it proved beyond a doubt? I feel like it's all just been completely confusing. Alright. Load save data. And let's get this one. Hey, traitor, how's it going? Giving me such a hard time. There's but one... Okay, so my guess is that I need to be doing something else involved with this. Actually, you know what? I have had enough difficulty on this one. I feel like I should probably use a hint coin. What? I have 145. Oh, shit! I do still need to present something, really? Huh. Wow. Actually, wait. Do I present something here? Ah! Can I present in here? Here. Nope. I feel like I need to press here. Tem don't know. It's fine that Tem don't know. I don't know either. It's not even allowing me to say no anymore. The hint coin is just like, no, you can do it. You can do it. Again, it might be the contraption, like Mario says in the Twitch chat. Oh shit, nope. The Grand Grimoire, I guess. The purpose of the shades could be to make sure this particular thing exists in Labyrinthia. I guess it's a spell. Alright. Well, then what spell would it be, then? Do I remember when you were doing a bunch of polls last stream? Oh, I remember it. I was letting those go through because YouTube kept on holding those questions for, like, review, just because they were URLs. Magical familiar spell. Ignaze sounds like a DQ spell. What? DQ? What's the dragon? Wait, what? Not Godor. You know, all I can think. Faintfall instantly. No, I wouldn't. I have to guess. Maybe it has something. The purpose of the shades could be to make sure this particular thing exists in Labyrinthia. Is it the Grandworm spell? Dragon Quest. That's what I thought. I was just like, is that it? Man summons forth Great Fire Dragon for the Caster 2 command, responsible for the legendary fire. Man, presenting a spell just doesn't feel like it would work, but I have to try.
Take that!
Shit. Something that doesn't exist. I have a feeling no one is gonna like the answer I'm about to give, and it'll probably end up shaking this town to its core. Uh-oh! But I've got to tell them. The truth has to come out. Since I arrived here in Labyrinthia, there's been no shortage of really strange events. Ignace, Demir, Godor, Goldor, and now Granworm.
The mere command of magic is, in itself, a crime, is it not?
In this town, witches are arrested and made to participate in witch trials. They are then sentenced to death by fire. But none of those witches actually died. That supposed death by fire wasn't real. And neither is magic. It doesn't really exist.
What are you saying, Defender?
The Eldritch Woods apparently contain some rather large machines, unlike anything that exists within Labyrinthia. Machines that emit fire and produce large plumes of smoke. To top it all off, the citizens of Labyrinthia are not able to see said machines.
It sounds like nothing more than magic.
Yes, that's exactly it, Your Honor. Miss Darklaw. Magic doesn't really exist in this town. That's the answer, isn't it?
Magic does not... What utter nonsense!
It seems we have finally arrived at the stunning conclusion. The secret behind Labyrinthia.
What? What? Oh no!
This entire town is going to shit itself.
Order, I say! What is the meaning of this?
It means that all of the magic you've seen in this town was nothing more than an illusion created and put into motion by the Shades.
But, Defender, the witches, we have clearly seen them use magic.
Have you? I don't think so.
Let's take a moment to think carefully about the systems employed by the Shades.
Systems?
What is essential in order for a witch to use magic?
The witch must possess a Talia Magica and must say an incantation in order to cast a spell.
And the spells able to be cast are determined by the Scepter's magic gems. Now, what do you think is the purpose of placing such requirements on the use of magic?
What do you mean, purpose?
These requirements are not there to allow the user to cast magic. Rather, the reality is they are there to inform the Shades of who should be using magic. It is possible that witches were always being closely observed by Shades. That's why they donned those robes, to appear hidden until they were needed to create magic.
Create?
Indeed. There are all kinds of spells within this tome. It would be quite troublesome if they were simply allowed to use any spell at will.
Yeah, it would make the Shades' job that much more difficult for sure.
Precisely so. That is why it was imperative that a certain restriction be placed on to the use of magic.
You're referring to the Talia Magica, right, Professor?
Of course! No wonder the scepter could contain only 2 magic gems.
Why didn't someone just make a gigantic serpent head of like 20 different gems in that case?
Then there's the incantation. What would happen if a witch could simply whisper the incantation quietly to herself, or not even say it at all?
Boy, that'd be so cool. I'd be casting spells all day long, and no one would ever see it coming. Maya, we spent an entire trial proving that you weren't a witch, remember? If the witches didn't give some sort of signal, then there would be no way for the shades to know when to cast the spell. This entire town is freaking haunted.
Right you are, Mr. Wright. The incantations were a way of telling the shades when the witch was ready to use magic.
What on earth? Never did I think these requirements could have such a purpose.
Now, let's think back to the previous events leading up to today that have involved magic. Our first encounter with magic was the use of the spell Ignaze a few nights ago. A spell like this.
He just says a plunger, goddamn.
Was nothing more than a flame spewed from a machine being used by the shades.
Then that means Demir.
A spell that makes the caster disappear? No doubt about it, it must have been this rogue.
Next is the incident with Goldor, the spell that transmuted me into a gold statue. While I understand this may sound a bit absurd, I can only surmise that the shades created a gold statue in my image, took me, and left it in my place the instant the incantation was uttered.
Professor, it's no more absurd than anything else that's happened so far.
We can therefore conclude that all of the magic in Labyrinthia was created in a similar vein. What do you say to that, Miss Darklaw?
Well, I'd say that you're probably going to ask for proof.
I'd expect nothing less from you, Inquisitor Layton. At any given time, there were between 5 and 10 witches in town. All the witches were accompanied by shades at all times. It was easier than you would think. You see, the shades living in the Eldritch Woods total in the hundreds. It was simply a matter of having each of the shades operate in shifts in order to watch over each of the witches within the town.
I must say, Lady Darklaw, this is quite a number of shades.
It was not only those who fell victim to the flames that were turned into shades, but their victims too were made permanent residents of the Eldritch Woods.
Then, those two shady thieves from before were turned into shades?
Ah, yes. You mean Robs and Muggs?
Still love their names.
Despite their dubious appearance, those two were a couple of my best shades.
Shady thieves turned into shades. This stuff writes itself.
I cannot believe what I've heard.
Does that mean the trial's over?
However, there's still one thing I do not understand just yet.
And what would that be?
As has just been explained, we have established that there is no possibility of magic being real. But replacing me with a gold statue to give the illusion of transmutation, for example, while it sounds simple enough, I myself, and presumably also Miss Fey, have no recollection of this replacement actually taking place.
Okay, that's right. The professor got all bling-blingy before I could even bat an eye. God, that is an old freaking term. Like, what are we in, the 2000s?
It begs the question, how and when was the statue created, let alone used to replace me?
But that is true.
The same goes for Goldor. It's supposed to create a portal between two green-colored walls.
Perhaps that is exactly why the spell can only work on green walls, Mr. Wright.
Still, it'd be impossible for the shades to get those portals ready so quickly. Hello, Spicy.
I agree. If we take a moment to think, we can see that all of these spells have one strange thing in common.
A thing in common?
Yes, indeed. Almost as if some time between the start and end of the incident was unaccounted for. Furthermore, any memory I might have had regarding the incident seems to have simply disappeared in the process.
I've got it, Nick! It's just like what happened to Kira. She's got absolutely no memory of her life in Labyrinthia before the trial, right? So somebody at least does have the ability to wipe minds.
Yes, I do not remember this Kira you speak of.
And, oh yeah, when you really think about it, doesn't it seem super weird how the shades are able to return to town if they complete their tasks? You're right, Maya. I mean, the townsfolk are bound to remember some things about them, right? Like how Miss Kira here threw a major hissy fit in court and was barbecued for being a witch?
Eloquently put, Mr. Wright.
Childishly put.
Hence, we cannot yet conclude that this entire illusion was primarily accompanied through the use of machinery. Simply put, there must have been some way of affecting the memories of all those within the confines of this town.
Some kind of a memory wiping machine? Let me think.
Missing time and lost memories.
Now that is interesting, Inquisitor.
You are correct. There is, in fact, a secret that lies within the depths of the Eldritch Woods. Something that the people of this town cannot see. Something that can rob people of their time and memories. 'Tis the very thing that connects all of what you have heard tonight. 'Tis a secret of monumental proportions.
And let me guess. 'Tis a secret that cannot be revealed by the mistress of the Eldritch Woods. Is that right?
Yes.
An excellent deduction, Defender. Son of a bitch. Why do we have to do all the work? We found you out. The jig is up.
Witches' souls wander astray within the Eldritch Woods. Until tonight, I thought this nothing but a mere fairy tale told by children. Sold for children. But it has become clear that a seemingly large organization lies within that forest.
The Witch's Court is the border between this world and the other world.
Then that means, in this world, you're Labyrinthia's High Inquisitor, while also being mistress to the shades in the other world. Otherwise known as the Great Witch.
May I intervene for just a moment, Mr. Wright?
Sure.
In all honesty, there's still something that sticks out as a little odd. Particularly in Miss Darklaw's previous testimony.
I think all of this is odd, honestly, but go on. Did you just say the previous testimony? I'd already pushed that out of my head.
There was one vital truth that we managed to take away from the testimony.
You mean that magic does not truly exist in Labyrinthia? Indeed, quite the vital, albeit shocking truth.
However, there's one more truth hidden within that same testimony.
There's something else in that testimony? Good question. And I'm putting down a net. I've got 3 shields. 3 attempts to try and figure this one out. I must have checked the court record more times than I can count, but I didn't find a single other contradiction.
Have you forgotten already, Mr. Wright? When there is no evidence left, we have but one more weapon at our disposal with which to uncover the truth.
Oh, hey, I've got it, Nick. Remember, in a witch trial, you can cross-examine 2 witnesses at the same time. Hey, that's right, I completely forgot. Being able to have a look at 2 testimonies side by side is bound to turn up a contradiction somewhere.
And that contradiction should provide us with a much-needed clue.
I'm not entirely sure where the professor is going with this, but I believe in his judgment. Besides, if we're going to blow this case wide open, it's got to be worth a shot.
Very well. We will now take a closer look at Lady Darklaw's previous testimony.
This is it. Miss Darklaw's previous testimony. There's a glaring contradiction between this piece of testimony and the others. Ready yourself, Mr. Wright.
Alright, so those that are put to the flames in the witch... Okay, so Darklaw. Shades live outside the realm of those who dwell within Labyrinthia. To them, I am known as the Great Witch. Those that are put to the flames in the witch trials become shades, who live their lives in the woods. Lady Darklaw was our venerable mistress. She assigned us our tasks. She was the Great Witch. Okay. I am not a witch, nor am I a wandering spirit. There is but one true purpose for the shades that dwell within the Eldritch Woods. So... which one of these contradicts something? I'm trying to think. They all kind of sound exactly the same in their own little ways, except for this one. I'm not a witch, nor am I a wandering spirit. Layton's eyes stare into your soul. They're like black holes that suck your soul inside. Yeah, just don't look too closely. Gotta think about this. So, those that are put to the flames in the witch trials become shades, who live their lives in the woods. Lady Darklaw was our venerable mistress. She assigned us our task. I'm not a witch, nor am I a wandering spirit. There is but one true purpose for the shades that dwell within the Eldritch Woods. So, what am I going for here? I guess I don't really know. I got 144 hit coins, so screw it. Alright, so none of the Darklaw things are correct. Lady Darklaw was our venerable mistress. She assigned us our tasks. She was the Great Witch. Shades live outside the realm of those who dwell within Labyrinthia. To them, I am known as the... I mean, yeah. Are we trying to, like, combine the two? Or the only thing I can think is that this is the one that was particularly separate from all the other ones, so I'm gonna guess this. I've got 3 shields to work with.
Objection!
Oh, boy. That's wrong. The contradiction between Miss Darklaw's testimony and the previous testimonies is right there!
Mr. Wright, please wait a moment. Perhaps you would be better served not leaving this up to chance, would you not agree?
Professor, I could have sworn that was it. Well, if anything's going to contradict Miss Darklaw's testimony, you'd think it'd have to come from Kara. She only has 2 statements. If it's not one, it's got to be the other. The technical term is process of elimination, Nick. Gee, thanks for the pro tip, Maya. Crapola.
Mr. Wright, please, take a moment to think this through carefully and try again.
Got it, Professor. Okay. It's the other one. But why?
Objection!
Wait. I'm very confused by that animation just there. Okay, fine. Why are rookies so OP in Ace Attorney? I don't know. Your Honor, there's obviously a huge discrepancy between these 2 pieces of testimony. I guess maybe I didn't read them properly. Miss Darklaw stated that she is known as the Great Witch. Let's see. Why are rookies so OP in Ace Attorney? Phoenix won his first. Mia would have won her first. Yeah, unfortunately. Phoenix gets bashed by Layton. Apollo won his first. I guess. I mean, this ain't a rookie fight, that's for sure. However, according to Miss Kira's testimony, Miss Darklaw was her venerable mistress, the Great Witch.
That is correct. She was the Great Witch. Note Miss Kira's use of the past tense.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even notice that.
Past tense? I'm afraid my grammar is not quite what it used to be. May I ask what you mean?
It's simple. Miss Darklaw was mistress to the Shades, or as they also called her, the Great Witch. Therefore, she is no longer the Great Witch.
She is not the Great Witch. Witness, is this true?
Huh?
It is as you have heard, my lord. I relinquished my position as Great Witch in order to fulfill the objective of this task.
What would that objective be again? Oh, she probably won't say.
That would be the assassination of the storyteller, Your Honor.
Witness, at the beginning of this trial, you stated that you came to town in order to complete your task, didn't you? What's more, you said that you were going to summon the fire dragon to do it. Now, this task, it wasn't Miss Darklaw here that gave it to you, was it?
No, it wasn't.
So then, the most pressing question is, who was it that gave you that task? Who told you to come to Labyrinthia and assassinate the storyteller?
I can only think of one man. You'll be honest, you were convinced Darklaw would be the main villain. Same here.
I cannot tell you, no matter what.
Alright, so Darklaw isn't the Great Witch anymore. Which must mean the mastermind behind this entire thing is...
It would seem the defense has worked it out as well.
I haven't. If the defense has apparently worked it out, then I should probably be saving at this point. Because I'm confused. Yep. The cat!
Mr. Wright, you know who really gave Miss Kira her task tonight, do you not?
Defender, I ask that you enlighten the court. Show us who really gave this witness her task to assassinate the storyteller.
I mean...
Take that!
The storyteller?
We're talking about someone with the authority and power to replace the Great Witch. Someone who calls the shots. I can't think of anyone else that meets those criteria, except for the storyteller himself.
Preposterous! That would mean...
Exactly, Your Honor. It means that the storyteller gave this final task to Kira himself. He was, in short, responsible for his own assassination.
What?
This entire thing is one giant farce. I've known it from the start, but now we have proof.
Order! Order! Order in the court! But for what purpose? Why would he plan his own assassination?
That I cannot say, Your Honor. However, the final chapter of the story does tell of his inevitable death. While he assigned this task to Kira himself, it is perfectly natural that he would do so. However, what is not natural is your behavior tonight, Miss Darklaw.
What was unnatural about the High Inquisitor's behavior?
You were once the head of all the Shades, and yet, tonight, you tried to interfere with the storyteller's plan. You rendered Miss Kira unconscious, and locked her away in a belfry on the bell tower. That to me seems like the activity of someone aiming to put a stop to his plan altogether.
Indeed. Lady Darklaw, what would be the reason for such behavior?
I leave that to you, Mr. Wright.
Based on what we've seen in this trial, the defense believes Miss Darklaw's reason for covering up her actions tonight can only be attributed to one thing. There. Look at all these good reviews. Good reviews on what? What, the new Maya Mayo? His plan was handed down by the storyteller himself. And Miss Darklaw was definitely aiming to put a wrench in it. But why? She tried to sabotage... Derp! She tried to betray the storyteller. She tried to protect the storyteller. You know, I have to take a guess and say she's trying to upend this... Well, okay, fucking... Obviously, she was trying to sabotage the plan. And she was trying to betray the storyteller. Both of these fucking things. Whatever. It's like a lifeline in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Protect it? I don't know why it would be protect the storyteller. I'd say betray. Here. There's one possible reason I can think of as to why Miss Darklaw had to hide her actions tonight. She was aiming to betray the storyteller.
Betray the storyteller?
I agree, Mr. Wright. The storyteller used the Great Witch Bazella to take his own life. Instructions to carry out the plan were given to Miss Kira. However, Miss Darklaw planned to intervene and change the scenario at the very last minute.
She planned to do so by changing the identity of the Great Witch from Miss Kira to Miss Cantabella.
Thus bringing us to our current situation. Miss Cantabella, on trial for the murder of her father at the hands of Bazella. You, Miss Darklaw, seem to harbor a rather strong hatred for the storyteller, if I'm not mistaken.
A hatred, you say? Yes, I suppose you could call it that. That's right. Behold, my revenge.
Did you say revenge?
This is getting deep. Like the ocean. Or a hole.
Miss Darklaw, will you please tell the court of your plan for revenge?
If you insist.
Why you do it?
The High Inquisitor and also the Great Witch. Long have I donned those two masks, one as Labyrinthia's protector, the other its harbinger of destruction. In other words, I was merely meant to serve him. And yet, he sought to selfishly pen the ending of the story under his own terms. He did not care enough about me, or any of the townspeople, to allow us the dignity of deciding our own fate. Indeed, what we witnessed tonight was the cowardly act of a man looking for an easy way to end that which he could not properly finish. He cared for no one but himself, hence this sudden sham of an ending. And for that, I will never forgive him.
What do you mean by sham of an ending?
Darklaw backwards is walk rad. My god, you're right.
The Great Witch Bazella is to summon a dragon of fire and end the life of the creator. She will then be put on trial and judged, thus heralding a period of peace and prosperity for all of Labyrinthia. Such is the ending written for this town and its people. 'Tis not an ending I oppose in principle. Who would not wish a happy ending for their own people? However, the problem lies in Bazella's identity.
Bazella's identity?
As you know, he assigned the role of the Great Witch to this girl beside me.
But you're saying that was a falsehood? Is that correct?
I knew Bazella's true identity. 'Tis not something I could ever forget. That is why I went to the bell tower, and it is why I took the accused there. I did it to ensure the true witch foretold in the story was given the judgment she was due.
The true witch? You don't mean...
Yes, I speak of none other than Espella Cantabella. And now we're back here again. Is she Espella's sister or something? Miss Darklaw, there's a glaring contradiction in your statement.
And what would that be?
It's supposedly common knowledge that Bazella is capable of using all magic. However, that is far from the truth. Magic does not actually exist in this town. It was all one giant illusion created by the Shades. Therefore, the Great Witch Bazella cannot exist either. Reasonable enough.
You fool. Defender. You really don't have a clue, do you?
What, does magic do exist and you're just bullshitting us at this stage?
But, wait, just a minute now. Is the defender not correct? If magic does not exist, then it goes without saying that witches do not exist either. And that would include the Great Witch, would it not?
That's right.
They've been lying to us this whole time.
Dastards!
Bazella isn't real!
Mr. Wright, there is a fundamental mistake in your argument.
What do you mean?
I have but one simple question. What exactly is Bazella?
Huh? Well, she's supposed to be the head of all witches.
Allow me to reword the question. The Great Witch Bazella is the root of all disaster within Labyrinthia. Knowing that, what specific disaster might she have been the root of?
That would be, I just thought of something! We've been hearing Bazella's name left and right since we got here, but not once has the real Bazella shown up in person. Oh.
Indeed, Miss Faye, Bazella herself has been virtually absent from the story thus far.
Mario is theorizing that Bazella is a machine. We'll see. We'll see.
But, Inquisitor, did she not claim the life of the storyteller tonight?
It would appear so, Your Honor. However, there is just one more thing. Consider this. Which particular story is every citizen of Labyrinthia most familiar with?
Or a contraption. We'll see. Spicy says, I want to draw Layton with sunglasses and a skateboard.
Raddest dude.
Well, that would have to be the legendary fire, right?
Precisely.
Surely you're not serious. As the name implies, that is but a mere legend. No one knows for certain if it's occurred.
So they say, but the reality is, there are still traces of that terrible fire within the town today.
The professor's right. We've even seen some of it up close and personal. Hey, yeah, at the Great Archive.
You are indeed correct, Inquisitor. Littered throughout the town are burnt remnants of a fire most fierce. However, no one can say for certain what transpired back then. You see, not a soul saw what actually happened.
Did a great war happen and people just completely forgot? Let me see if I have this straight. There's an entire town full of people, and no one saw what happened?
Correct. Except for one particular person.
What?
There's one person who saw everything. I am speaking, of course, of the one responsible for the fire itself. The Great Witch Bazella.
So this has all been a sham?
Yes.
It was a fire, but it wasn't started by magic.
I remember it. All of it.
Dispella, what are you saying?
When I close my eyes, I can picture it so vividly. The awful sight of the flames engulfing everything they touched. The scorching heat on my skin. The smell of burning cinder all around me. The large plumes of black smoke. The warm tears streaming down my face. I remember it all. What you are recalling now is the moment the Great Witch Bazella destroyed our town. Well, it appears my role here is finished. As for the rest, I leave it in your capable hands, Inquisitor.
Ah, shite. I was hoping a twist like this wouldn't happen. Was the entire town on a smoke break or something? Kinda. Spicy says, I really like bee-based areas in games. They're not common, but you like when they're there. It's very interesting. It's odd to frame everything around bees. And Tem says, I need to draw Nico balancing a plate of pancakes on his or her whatever's heads. Wait a minute, wait, where's Darklaw going? Darklaw, she just vanished into thin air. Freaking magic.
She's right. These memories are proof that I am Bazella.
But, Espella!
Mr. Wright. Remember, if you will, what I said at the beginning of this trial. I came here to prove that Espella Cantabella is, in reality, the Great Witch Bazella.
Right.
There's still one more thing I wish to present to the court. I would now like to call the final witness to the stand. Oh, the final witness.
I hope it is exactly who I'm thinking about. Hold it, what? Who?
It would appear he has arrived.
Oh, damn!
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I give you this trial's final witness, the storyteller.
It's gotta be the cat. Nope, it's Dracula! And just like that, he appeared. The man who died not hours before. And the victim of this very trial. The story... Is the trial over now? He's not dead! The professor sure chose one heck of a final witness. Morning is drawing closer and closer. How this trial will end is anyone's guess. And I'm gonna keep you guessing because it is close to 10 o'clock. And I gotta get going. So I think the storyteller is a nice final cliffhanger that I can leave everybody. Gasp! Flips table! But holy crap, I assume... Yep, I feel like we're getting real close. I forget, I think there's something like 13 chapters in all. Either 12 or 13. What chapter is this? Oh. Wait a minute, wait. Epilogue. This is the finale, right? So, I wonder how long the freaking finale is, though. That's the problem. Do I want to end it off here? Hold up. If it's just the epilogue, if it's literally just nothing but the... I don't know about this one. How long is the epilogue? Mario says he's going to look how long the epilogue is. All right. We'll see. We'll see. I want to see this. Because if it's close enough, this is probably the very end of the game. But I want to know if this is like an entire new round of testimonies. And if it is, then I would like to leave it to the last stream. But if it's not, if it's literally just the epilogue and the ending, it's an entire chapter. Well, Mario said it himself. It's an entire chapter, so I'm going to leave it to next stream. So. Tim made a poll. No, I will not, Tim. And also, put that away. Anywho's. Mario's like, good night, y'all. Yeah. I'm going to be finishing it up. I'm just going to do the regular outro stuff. Title card stuff. But thanks, everybody, for coming out and enjoying the stream. If you want to take a look at it after it's done. There wasn't a lot that I had to do. Maybe I'll do like very, very minute cosmetic edits, and then I'll be uploading it to the YouTube channel after I am finished. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, I'm not gone just yet. Ask me anything you need to ask me. But for Sunday, I'm not 100% certain about what I'm going to be doing. I guess we will see when I jump into that, tomorrow. But hopefully it's something exciting. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to whatever it's going to be. If you want to know some other stuff that I'm doing, I'm lining up to do a Hat in Time mod stream. Not too... sometime within the recent future. Not immediate, but for certain, I will be. Oh. Spicy says, I noticed that moist at the end of the last stream. I know you did. You left a message. I saw that. And if anybody doesn't know, last stream I did a little bit of stress. Speaking of which, since you're talking about the ending of the last stream, we did some stress testing, and just for drips and giggles, I decided to take some footage of my play. I've done tiny little snippets and highlights of me playing Beat Saber, just because I tend to just have it on at the same time as OBS, and I'm like, record it, why not? I posted some of, I have my YouTube video set up to save the VODs, and then keep them unlisted in the event I need them. And funny enough, yes, I was correct when I said that entire segment I cannot upload to YouTube because it's, I can upload it, but it's currently got a ton of Content ID content on it. And I tend to try and make sure that I don't post anything with Content ID content on it. So that's just some more proof that, unfortunately, I don't know if I can do a Beat Saber stream, because it's going to be entirely nothing but Content ID content. I don't know if I'm up for that. If anything, I would have to come up with a way to preserve the VODs somewhere else. I don't friggin' know. I would have to... It's a shame because, you know, like, places like VidMe no longer exist, so you can't upload stuff to there. Streamable is way too inconvenient, and you can't really go to somebody's, like, streamable channel. So I can't use that. As well as streamable is just crap quality entirely. So, yeah, I really can't do that. I'm gonna have to put that into the workshop. I would love to do a Beat Saber stream someday, but it's got to be in a circumstance where I'm not going to be Content ID to hell. That's for sure. But anyways, is that all that I need to talk? I think that's pretty much everything I need to talk about. But again, that will do it. Thanks for coming out. See you next time.